All right, what's up, guys? Today we're going to have a quick look at the lending protocol on MetalX, and we're going to take a look at how to lend and borrow HBAR, which is the newest asset to join the lending markets here on MetalX. So, lending.metalx.com. Now, if you're on MetalX on the DEX and you've been trading, you can simply get to the loan protocol by clicking loan here up in the top menu. And if you're new to XBR Network, this is the first time that you have joined and you'd like to get involved in the lending markets, you'll need to create yourself a WebAuth wallet, which you can do at webauth.com. And when you sign up, you can choose a custom name between 4 and 12 characters, and this will essentially be your wallet name. Once you're all signed up, you've saved your seed phrase somewhere safe, and you've verified your identity, you can come in to the WebAuth wallet and click receive, and you can essentially deposit any top asset from Bitcoin, USDC, HBAR. And when you do so, you will you can deposit your assets. Say you're coming from Hedera mainnet. When you deposit your HBAR to the WebAuth wallet, you will receive X HBAR, which is the X token equivalent on the XBR network, and this will allow you to enjoy the wonderful world of DeFi on MetalX without paying any transaction fees. And this is all because of XBR network. It's gas-free technology. And once you have your Hedera, USDC, Bitcoin, Dogecoin here on XBR network, you can trade, you can lend, you can do all these awesome things, again, without paying any gas fees. But today we're going to start with HBAR on loan. Now, it is the latest asset to join the lending protocol with loan incentives. So you can now essentially get paid to borrow HBAR, which is a really, really interesting concept. A lot of people will say, well, how do you get to that? How do you get paid to borrow? Well, you're essentially receiving loan token incentives, which may offset your interest paid on the borrow side. So you can see here on some markets, for example, Litecoin, currently because there's such high demand for borrows, you can see here the current interest rate is about 25% APY. You know, that's what it costs to borrow. However, borrowers in this instance are incentivized with about 18% loan token, which can, essentially offset your borrow costs. Some markets you can see here, HBAR, well, they say, or the smart contract says 11.62% APY, which is made up of 16% in loan token rewards and minus the interest of 4.43% HBAR. So let's get started and let's just see how easy it is. So we've got some HBAR, and say we've been holding HBAR for a little while, and we're thinking, oh man, I just want to put my HBAR somewhere where I can earn a little bit on it and potentially earn and put away some of this loan token from the loan protocol. Well, if you want to keep things really simple, you can pretty much just click lend over here, and I would like to lend, say, 1,000 HBAR tokens, which is about $223 worth. I'm going to go ahead and click deposit and then sign the transaction. And what this is going to do is send the HBAR from my wallet into the smart contract on the lending protocol. And if we jump over to portfolio up the top here, we can see I have deposited $223 worth of HBAR. My loan health is at 1,000%. And you can see here, my deposits, 1,000 HBAR, my borrows currently 0, and in my wallet there's 22 HBAR left. So, the biggest question most people have is, how do I know how much I've earned in interest on HBAR, right, or on my asset which I've deposited? So what I like to do, just to keep things simple, Now, you can see here I've put a nice round number of 1,000 HBAR into the lending side. So how do I track how much interest I'm earning? Well, it's right here. I've put 1,000 tokens in, and you can see every half second the amount of HBAR that is essentially owed to me here is constantly accruing. So I put 1,000 HBAR in. If I now want to pull that out, I simply click lend and do the reverse. So instead of deposit, I'm going to withdraw. And you can see here when I withdraw, not only do I get my initial 1,000 HBAR, but you can see I also get a little bit, this is a percentage of an HBAR token, right? Now, if I put obviously 1 million HBAR tokens into the protocol, that would go up much faster and would probably see, you know, it'd be a bit more obvious when I pull it out, but you can see here it's constantly accruing. Now, what about the loan token? How do I claim that? Well, up here, every half second, that's eventually going to build up, and slowly this number will go up here. Once you've got some loan token rewards, you can simply click claim, and you can claim these at any time. Simply sign with your wallet, and you will be rewarded. But I did just claim that, so that's why it's at 0. Right, so you can see here we're constantly earning on our HBAR. Now, say I want to pull my HBAR out, I want to go do something with it, maybe send it back to Hedera mainnet, sell it, use it as collateral for another loan. All I need to do is click lend and do the reverse of the deposit. I go withdraw, and you can see here I've got a little over 1,000 HBAR because of some of the interest I've earned. But I'm just going to go ahead and withdraw the initial deposit. Cool. And you can see my deposits are 0, my borrows are 0. So let's say I want to use my HBAR to borrow XPR. So the native token for the XPR network. One interesting thing you can do with your XPR is you can actually stake it. So if you go over to XPR in your WebAuth wallet, you can see here under staked, you can see there's a 4% APR. So say I've got a bunch of HBAR which I've been holding onto for a while, and I'm thinking, why don't I use that as collateral to borrow some XPR, and then maybe I could put that XPR into staking and earn an additional 4%. So what we'd do here is we'd go down, we'd find our XPR token, the one I want to borrow, go ahead and click borrow, and then down here you can see I'm going to need to add some collateral. In this case, we're going to use our HBAR, and I'm going to go ahead and stick 1,000 HBAR tokens into the protocol as collateral, and we can see here the amount that I can borrow. So max borrow to deposits is 60%. So say I've got $1,000 worth of HBAR, for example, I can borrow up to $600 in XPR. But I think in this case we're just going to start small. Maybe we'll go with, let's borrow say 15,000 XPR using our HBAR as collateral. And you can see here the predicted loan health. So when I make this borrow, loan health is a very important metric. If you are purely lending, you're not doing any borrowing, your loan health should be over 100%, 1,000%, whatever that number may be. But then when you borrow, if your loan health gets down to 0% or goes below 0, you may be liquidated a small amount of your collateral in order to pay back some of your interest on your loan, right? So we're going to start here. We're going to borrow 15,000 XPR tokens, which is about $90 worth. We're going to use our collateral, a little over $200 worth on HBAR, and we're going to click borrow. Then I'm simply going to sign the transaction with my WebAuth wallet, like that. And just like that, I've got an additional 15,000 XPR in my wallet. And you can see here, so I have deposited a little over $200 worth, borrowed about $90 worth, and my loan health is about 48%. So again, what happens if that loan health, say the price of HBAR shoots up through the roof, and I need to pay back, the interest starts going up, I need to pay back some of that loan. Well, what I can do is either add a bit more collateral to my deposit. So maybe I click lend, and I can add a little bit more collateral. And you can see my loan health would go up. So I'm going to add 22 HBAR as collateral, and that gives me a little bit more buffer room on my loan. You can see here my loan health should shoot up to 51%. Now, what happens if that drops even further down to like 5%, and I'm thinking, oh man, I don't have any HBAR left or any other cryptos to offset that loan? Well, what I could do is click on click on borrow on the XBR and repay a little bit of that XBR. So say I want to repay, say 5,000 XBR off my loan. Well, I can go ahead and click repay, click sign that transaction, and just like that, my loan health should shoot up to over 100%. So now I've got heaps of buffer room, heaps of room to play, and I'm not too stressed. Right, so I've still got my 10,000 XPR, which I have borrowed. I'm happy with my loan health. Everything looks good. So I'm going to switch back over to my WebAuth wallet. But basically what you can do is you can come in here and you can click stake, and you can drag up the slider, and you can see I'm staking a little bit extra. So yeah, that's about it for this quick tutorial. You've seen how I can use my HBAR as collateral for my XPR borrow. But say I want to sort of undo everything and reverse it. Well, I want to repay my XPR loan. So I only sort of borrowed 10,000 XPR, but say I'm lazy, I just want to stick it all into the protocol, just want to repay the whole lot. Well, I've got a little over 12,000 XPR in my wallet. I'm just going to click the full max amount and click repay. And what that'll actually do is pay off the loan that we were owed, or that we owed, and then the remaining XPR simply goes into my wallet. So that's nice and easy. And then we've got our deposits. So we've paid back our loan, but we've still got our deposits sitting in the lending protocol. Well, we simply click lend, withdraw, and we can withdraw our full amount of HBAR, including the small amount of interest that we earned. And just like that. Hopefully that was helpful. Let me know if you guys want any other tutorials or anything like that, and I can sort it out. Thanks for watching. Cheers.